Today's American Story is brought to you by New Chase Freedom, the only credit card that lets you choose between cashback or rewards points.
Today's American Story with Bob Dotson is about life at its most basic, stripped of safety nets. It's also about finding new frontiers while living like a pioneer by choice.
One of the most interesting artists in the country can't be reached by phone. He's got a computer room in a haystack, but no internet connection.
This is the glacial acetic acid in here.
Students pay $585 to camp on John Coffer's farm in upstate New York and learn tintype photography, a style that was all but forgotten after the Civil War. Images are captured on wet glass plates and developed on pieces of tin.
There's no negative. They're one-of-a-kind item. They're almost like a painting.
A beautiful painting.
That's excellent, John.
That's why some of Coffer's photos hang in New York City galleries.
All right. I want you to look rough and tough and fearless.
There's nothing instant about his pictures. Subjects must sit perfectly still, sometimes locked in a head brace, for several seconds while the shutter is open. The weight helps Coffer capture more revealing portraits.
They can't hide behind that quick smile.
He was once a Florida fashion photographer until he decided to live like the old-fashioned photos he loves.
I came to the conclusion I just wasn't good at living in the 20th century.
In 1978, he traded his car and condo for a wagon train and set out to see what he had been missing, rushing through life.
Easy, boys. Don't wear yourself out.
The first time we met, a quarter century ago, he was in the middle of an 11,000-mile odyssey, lingering across America at 2.5 miles an hour.
You become like a temporary resident, in effect, when you're going at that speed.
Coffer made his living selling portraits to people along the way. One of them, Susan, he married. They kept to back roads, pastured in farmers' fields. One day, John's wife insisted on a home, and that ended their little wagon train. He built her a cabin with no running water, no electricity, no phone. She left. 18 years later, he still hasn't found another woman willing to live this way. If you could write a personal ad saying, "Come out here and share my life," what would you say?
Send picture, I don't know.
Coffer is not wedded to the 1860s. After 2 decades on the farm, he's closer to 1879, the year the light bulb was invented. Coffer bought one, just one. Little by little, the 21st century is creeping back into your life.
It's more of a buffet thing now. I can weigh things out and choose what suits me.
Lately, he's been experimenting with tintype movies, which he animates on his computer. Why are you still fascinated with this process after all these years?
I don't have to be fenced in by these 19th century parameters anymore.
But John Coffer still doesn't own a car. Sometimes it takes him 8 days to get to his next photo shoot. What are you going to do when you get older and too weak to live this kind of lifestyle?
I can always look back and say, I did what I wanted to.
Passing through life more slowly than most. For today, Bob Dotson, NBC News, with an American Story in Dundee, New York.
And up next, a Polaroid moment, dogs in costume. That's right after this.